Wind Park. In the upper left, we have
CJ&2's Hydra, 신동원.
Wind Park, member of a big elite map-making team in Korea called Team Crux. Make all the best maps. Down here, the 6 o'clock position on merry-go-round. His opponent
GNL Green Wings Rouge, 이병렬.
Needs to win one more game to force that final series that might allow him to go to the round of 16.
a lot of pressure on this guy right now.
Even more so on this guy who goes for a 9 pull. Now, this is the type of build I like to see when you're in this tough situation against somebody who seems to be clearly better than you at that mid-game scenario where you're both on 3 bases. You're both doing the Roach max-out game, the game of chicken, the poking game. That balancing act between how much larva you spend on drones and how much you spend on roaches and how you attack with that. Where do you get those angles? The upgrade wars, which Hydra did win, but it didn't matter. At the end of the day, numbers matter more than upgrades.
No pull just yet, and 6 lings are on the way here for Hydra.
Let's see how many lings he commits to. 8.
8 now.
And
He might stop at 8.
the thing is, it's not going to be the most effective early pool because it's a hatchery right after the, or it's a pool right after the hatchery, so he doesn't actually add any gases or anything like that.
Well, here come those lings now. Head southbound. A pool not even done, and already more and more lings being hatched out. Also, Hydra now getting his extractor. Note there's no other hatchery here for Hydra, so he has to do a good amount of damage. He has to ideally force this to cancel or kill off a lot of drones or just do something to slow this down.
Spawning pool is exposed here, but I don't think he can go for that. It's already too well built, and he's just going to fight drones here. And it's just micro back. And so far, doing a good job of that. 2 workers killed, but looks like goes up to 4 here, 5. And I'm not sure if this ends up being okay. Well, 7 kills.
8 drones to 8 drones.
The problem being, though, that he's going to have his own lings out, and he has double hatch, and he's going to have a queen in a second.
That's some serious production.
And that just allows him to just do twice as much, literally.
But if he can get just a few drones, I mean, he's down to like 10 drones for a little bit. I mean, you get like 3 kills or something there. Oh, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Well, these lings are trying to come over here and assassinate this drone. It actually hides behind the mineral line. A smart choice.
Smart, yeah.
And a queen pops out here. Should be able to play merry-go-round with the drone. Oh, wow. I think he lost that, actually.
I think you're right. Unless it turned into an extractor, and it didn't, so he did get killed. But I think that's the end of it now. Now he's getting ling speed. Again, no expansion right now for Hydra.
I think he's just going to do an all-in with mass lings. No baneling nests.
Think so?
He's not mining any more gas. He could just add a hatch from here, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to do a timing attack. But I feel like trying to just catch up with a hatch against this much production of his opponent is going to be...
Yep, there's his hatch and his expansion.
It's also the Overlords have scouted out the path of where the lings will come, so Rogue can reasonably assume how many lings are making, so he can know exactly how many drones to make. And yeah, here comes that first group of lings, 8 of them. And with every inject he hits, he's going to make more and more, 10, 12. And I think he's just going to pool those, hide them.
Yeah, and I think try to surprise his opponent as quickly as possible. The question is Rogue going to have the necessary defense? This is not rocket science that your opponent might be doing this.
It's just hard for him to know. He didn't get any information there. He didn't see any of those lings, not a single one. And he's careful here. He knows that that possibility is there. And speed is done. Now he sees them.
Okay, he's coming out now. No more lings, though, behind this. Actually, 4 drones being made into queen of his own.
He's going to need that. Okay, so this is not an all-in. Just very aggressive here. Thing is, he's not getting anything really done concretely at this point, but he's making this base not able to mine, which means that the fact that his base isn't mining yet is less important now. I don't know what he's killing over there. Oh, kill a little rock for some reason. May get tougher to haul later. Now he's going to try to catch this queen, and you know what? With no transfusions, there it is.
One transfusion.
Double transfuse there. That queen's on call, man.
That totally worked, man. Really nicely done.
That Wi-Fi transfusion long range.
Wi-Fi
man.
transfusion.
There's not that transfusion on Bluetooth. This
That's your health in the Dropbox, man.
What's the health on the online storage? Yeah, it's all synced up.
It's not some old stuff like, you know, he just put it in a zip drive for him.
Didn't put it in the filing cabinet either, Tasus. Don't have to go to that back room to get that transfused anymore. It's not on a VHS tape.
Oh my god, I hated VHS tapes, man.
You know that when your favorite movie, like, that they don't really sell anymore, like has the tape gets messed up because some little kid is messing with it? Because why did nobody teach those kids to not mess with the tape? Because obviously that's the key part of the VHS.
This is true. Or sticking stuff in there and, you know, breaking it. I remember accidentally broke my grandma's VCR when I was like a little kid because like I think I put the thing in backwards or something.
Yeah.
And then it just wouldn't come out, and she's like, "Well, that's it. We can't watch movies now." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm a bad person."
Yeah.
I didn't know Grandma.
Well, the thing is, like, you were probably pretty
like
sad
6 years old
because you were staying at your grandma's house, and then you couldn't watch movies anymore either.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I think I miss the idea of a VHS player, but not really. It just reminds me of good times.
Or you had to manually rewind those things.
Yeah, I had
a
speed rewinder like product that would just rewind it so much faster than a regular VHS could actually rewind it. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, well, 30 lings here.
30 lings
and Roach is coming.
Roaches are coming, but Roach speed is much faster here for Hydra, and he might be doing that +1 Roach speed I was talking about to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Third base is going down, and that's something that Rogue is a little bit more passive on right now. He's just going to be aggressive, counterattack here. It's a bit drone light because of this. I think he's going to kill this third base, or force a cancel on it, I guess I should say.
Rogue's coming up now. Possibly going to get a cancel on this. I don't think there's enough Roaches to really, you know, disarm this threat that's coming up. Even if they got there, I think they get surrounded so easily. There's just not enough of them. Nice, look at this. Spreading these out very nicely.
Yeah. And they're starting to fall here, and this hurts almost more than losing the base. But you know what, he might have enough here? The base is pretty far built, so a lot of hit points on that base. Nah, he has to cancel, loses the drone.
He does get it. Nicely done. Meanwhile, an expansion for Rogue is up and untouched. Although he does, Hydra does know about that, so that's also important to note as well.
He needs to get Roach speed started, Rogue that is, because that's the one thing he's behind on. It was +1 as well, so even though he killed this base, the army is much larger and much better for Hydra, and if he realizes this and moves across the map, he's going to be able to punish his opponent's third. May even go for the throat here with this many Roaches, 23, 24 to 10, 3 more on the way, more Overlords. I think he wants to end this game now with these upgrades that he has. He had the upgrade the last game, wasn't able to make it work this game. He really wants that blood. Sees it.
He's coming out, but, you know, so far Rogue's been pretty solid about hanging on to stuff. Then these Lings attacking this hatch. Whoa, hold that thought. Running around here. And now he's going to be hitting up here, but the Queen's Transfusion is just too good. More Roaches popping up here as well. I think that Hydra has to turn around. Am I incorrect here?
Well, you know, the problem is he doesn't have speed, so his Roaches aren't able to reinforce very quickly. But I think you're right. I think he has enough to push this back. But he's still way down in upgrades. And look at this, +2's on the way for Hydra, and his +1 has been gooped. He's not using his third base.
That's annoying.
So the fact that he has a third base even, you know, up right now doesn't actually matter that much because he's not using it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a production facility that happens to have minerals next to it, basically.
So, just all these things to keep in mind. Roach speed very late for Rogue here as well. He's starting to get it out right now. This Hydra may go down, or rather the Overlord. And game's going to even up a bit here, but I'm starting to like where Hydra's at right now.
Well, he's definitely playing better than he did in the last game. All right, so they both have +1 range attack and Ling speed. Roach speed is being acquired here by Rogue.
Yeah, and I mean, the Roach numbers here are getting larger and larger for both players, but it's still a much better count right now for Hydra. His economy was lighter for a while. Oh, he's going to even that up. Again, upgrades continue to be a problem for Rogue, who hasn't even started the +2 now. It is, so he's a whole cycle of upgrades behind.
Wow.
And to think of how this game started, you would think that it would be much harder for Hydra to actually get into this position, but he transitioned quite nicely.
Yeah, he really did. Okay, nice gooping over there.
He's starting to really see the power of that.
Well, it's one of the easiest ways to slow down stuff. You really can't stop an overseer from flying in there if you have one queen.
Yeah, you're not going to stop
And
it.
you can slow down one of the two most important upgrades, attack or armor, if you want.
You might even start putting a sport collar next to that. All right, so this is a good concave for Rogue, but a much better upgrade lead for Hydra here. And this battle could decide everything in this game. All right, Hydra tackles the top part of the army. He's taking basically the fist approach here, where he's just trying to get all the roaches in one place to tackle the weak part of the wall, the weak part of the concave that Rogue has set up. And he's got Lings here to tank too, so I like how he's doing this. But again, that upgrade advantage might be what pushes him through here, fighting with now so many roaches, and Rogue doesn't look like he has enough to compete. The problem here being those upgrades plus the roach numbers way in Hydra's favor right now. I think he's done it.
We're looking at 40, Doug beat me to it, 40 roaches to but 15 there right at the end. Nicely done there by Hydra. And that brings us to game number 3, which we're going to load up right away here.
Yeah, we have been having just back and forth series today, all of them going to game 3. Just really, really incredible comebacks. Now, that last game was just all about him having that attention to detail on the +2, having the faster roach speed, and using these things to his advantage. And that was very well played.
It
That
really
was
was.
a really
nicely
good
done.
ZVZ.
All right, well, it's neck and neck. Anybody's game so far. And the map that was picked here by Rogue is going to be Kim Sejong Station.
Now I wonder what sort of plan he has here, because it really could be anything. We've seen all sorts of styles from both of these players, even from what we've seen from Life. These 3 Zergs are tackling the ZVZ matchup very differently from each other. Hydra seems to be very on point about getting his upgrades out early. That's what he's really focused on so far in this Zerg vs. Zerg series. It's cost him games, but it's won him a game as well.
It's definitely showing the character of the way he sees the game, you know? It really brings out the personality of his builds and everything like that. All right, I think we've almost got this game up and running here. Again, guys at home, you're watching the GSL Code S, brought to you by Tasteless and Wolf. And one of these two players is going to get one more shot after this series, if they win, to go on and face off against their final opponent today. The other is out of the tournament.
Yeah, my life is a roller coaster inside of a maze.